Hi everybody, welcome to ABC Gluten Free. Thank you for joining us today. We have a very, alright, so here we are, we're ready. You guys ready? Jeremiah's gonna move Sophia today. Alright, so thank you guys for joining us today. Welcome to ABC Gluten Free, we're very glad to be back. We have a really great show planned for you, and this is my beautiful helper Sophia. Sophia, say hi. Jeremiah's gonna Jeremiah, say hi. Alright, so these are my two helpers, and we're glad that you're tuning in. Today is Boardwalk Bites, so we're doing a throwback to way back. And Sophia has a very old shirt on. I have a very old shirt on, for those of you who remember summertime subs. And Jeremiah just has a new shirt on. But Sophia and I, oh, what happened to your banana clip? We're sporting the banana clips today. We're going all the way back to the 80s to the banana clips.
I'll go get that.
Oh gosh, she's going to get it now. She had it in the whole time. I don't know what happened. So we're going to bring you back to the boardwalk, back to the 70s and the 80s, and we hope you're ready for this, because I'm certainly not ready for this. Definitely not ready for this. But what we have for you today is we're going to be making zeppelis and funnel cakes. What are you ready for? Which one? Funnel cake? You didn't have any this morning?
No.
Yes, you did. Gluten-free grandma saying, yes, you did. But we really don't have like a full meal for you today. Boardwalk Bites is just kind of like those little picky foods. So we're going to be making zeppelis and funnel cakes. We're going to continue this series through the summer, and we're going to be doing some Boardwalk specials for you. So we hope you BYON. So
Bring your napkin.
Bring your own napkin. If it's a paper one or a cloth one, or maybe you're just kind of, you know, using your shirt to wipe off that powdered sugar, it's quite all right. We are glad you're here, and we are ready to roll. Right, guys?
Yes.
You ready?
I need to grow this much to be as tall as Bubby.
She's still on her step stool, but she doesn't need it. So it just goes tall, middle, and then the shortest. Thanks, Sophia. There we go. All right, so let's get busy because we have some great things planned for you. We also have a really special drink that Jeremiah is going to be making for us, and we're going to go all the way back to the 70s and 80s with that drink. But first, we're going to get started on our zeppeli dough. So the zeppeli dough is a yeasted dough, and you know there's a lot of controversy over zeppelis, but traditionally they are made with a yeasted batter. It's a very wet, kind of loose batter that you can actually pull and manipulate with your hands, and that's how we did it on the boardwalk. That's how we did it way back. We did make it with our hands, and I don't know what the health inspectors would say these days, because it's a little hard to wear gloves when you're working with that zeppeli dough. So maybe they would opt for a cookie scoop like we have today. So we're going to do both because, oh, what are you doing? This is just the yeast blooming.
Whoa, I
Oh,
know.
I'm going to do like a...
No, yes.
You got it all wet already. Just pull it up. Okay. So what we have in our bowl here, and you can't see too well, is... Did I spill it? I did? Oh well. Is some water, yeast, and a little bit of sugar. And the sugar feeds off of the yeast. So if you don't put a little bit of sugar in there, you will still get the blooming yeast, and it'll be fine. But it does activate a little bit sooner. A lot of people have an issue with activating the yeast first. This is the way I've been doing it my whole life, and I like to do it that way because I want to make sure that my yeast is alive. Because if I make all that batter and all that greatness, and I have no yeast and it's not going to rise, I'm going to be really upset, especially with the gluten-free flours and how expensive they are. You don't want to waste that. So we want to bloom it first. And we have a little bit of bloom on it here. You really can't see unless maybe Jeremiah takes a photo for you. But it starts to bubble and starts to get nice and foamy. No, not yet. And it gets nice and foamy and frothy. So the longer you leave it, the more it's going to bloom. So just remember that. And that's if you have an active yeast. So we have just that fast Insta yeast. We get the big package from the German butcher. Thank you to Mrs. Barsh. It's the same exact yeast that we used to use on the boardwalk. And of course we used to use a ton more, but for this particular recipe we're using just one big scoop like this. So 1 tablespoon in there, a tablespoon of water, and a tablespoon of sugar, and we just covered that with a towel and we let it sit for 5 to 10 minutes. It's totally up to you. And then we're going to get started on actually making the dough. Sure. You can feel it. So we have our fryer on 375, and we have our non-GMO sunflower oil in there. So it is Friday, and you know we love to fry. So you know we apologize to anybody out there who does not eat fried food. Maybe you should click out. Just click off. Go watch something else. Go watch, I don't know, Veggie Bites or something, okay? Because even though we're making vegan Zeppelis and vegan funnel cakes, we don't want to offend anybody, but this is the way we like it. We like to fry food, so. At all of our places, we always have fryers. We were never without one. And we shall not be without one now, so. So sorry to everybody, we apologize. Fried food, it doesn't clog your arteries if you don't eat too much of it. So we just do it on Fridays. So is that okay? Everybody say okay? Alright, okay. What'd you say? Okay. Alright, so we're going to get started on making the Zeppeli dough. And I want Sophie and Jeremiah to do that. Today we're using the Really Great Food Company all-purpose flour. If you don't know about this, you can go to their website and read about it. You can order it. We get it through our gluten-free co-op. You can order it in bulk, 25 pounds, 50 pounds, whatever it is that you need, or 5 pounds. We're going to order in 1 pound bags. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be adding Jeremiah, stop being silly. We're going to do 1 cup of flour. Sophie, you could do 1 cup of flour. And so we're doing
This is Really Great Friend Company.
Really Great Friend Company, that's a good name. So we're doing 1 cup of their all-purpose flour. And Sophie is just going to mix it right into that yeasty dough. And I was adding a little bit of flax to it, but the kids didn't really like that version. Yeah. So we're just going to go with the flour and a little bit, hold on, stop. Jeremiah, we need like 1 more tablespoon of sugar. And I know he's going to add more, but you don't need it. When you're making the Zeppelis, you're covering them with powdered sugar. It's totally enough powdered sugar to give somebody sugar shock. So just a little bit more sugar, and then we're going to add some water. You can use milk, whatever milk you like. There you go. Good job, honey. You don't have anything behind you, do you? You don't have anything behind your back, do you? No. Okay. All right, and then we're going to add, don't play with it, please. Not right now. Then we're going to add some water. We're going to do about 3/4 of a cup to a cup of water. So if you have your pen and paper, start writing. Because when you ask me questions later, I may not remember, but gluten-free grandma's sometimes good. She'll write it down for us. So Jeremiah, can you fill that up with water for me, please? You could use water. You could use milk. I really like hemp milk in this, or flax milk. It works really, really well, and it does give it a nice little bit of a brown color. This is a really white cornstarchy flour. So if you're using any all-purpose flour that you like, Bob's Red Mill, or Namaste, or I don't know, King Arthur, whatever one you like, use this. Just add it little by little. This is going to be a wet dough. We want it to be a wet dough, but we also want that yeast to be able to activate, so we don't want to like work it too much and mess with it. Sophie's just going to mix it up. Jeremiah's going to keep an eye on it. If it gets too dry, he's going to add a little bit of water. So far he's added, what'd you add so far? Half a cup? He's added half a cup of water, so that's good. Sophie's going to stir that up, mix it. We want it to all be incorporated of the flour, because if you have flour pockets, that'll just create a dryness in your dough and it'll be kind of gross. So you don't want dry starch pockets, right? You want it to be all incorporated. So we're going to make that nice wet dough for the Zeppeli. After that, we're going to move on to the funnel cake dough, which is 2 different doughs. Did you know this? It's 2 different doughs, and you can call one a dough and one a batter, because basically a funnel cake is like a pancake batter, and some way back, like in the 1800s, they did use yeast for a funnel cake, and believe it or not, funnel cakes have been around a long time. We didn't invent them on the boardwalk, even though we would like to say that we did. We did not invent the funnel cake, but we enjoy it, that's for sure. And so that's enough, Jeremiah. So the funnel cake, the Zeppelis and the funnel cakes are 2 separate batters. Just remember that. Okay, so we need more flour because you guys have too much water in there. So we're going to do about 1/2 cup of flour because I feel like that's a little too much. It's okay. Here we go. Ready? Pay attention. So 1.5 cups of flour we did to how much water is left? 3/4 of a cup of water. Don't put any more in. We're good. Don't put any more in. We're good. You guys see him? Gosh. He's going to be 18 soon, so what do you guys think? He's going to be 18 on August 2nd. Yay, happy birthday to you, Jeremiah. He won't be here, he'll be in California at Christian Surfers. But we're going to...
Not on my birthday.
On your birthday, you'll be in California. What?
I'll be at Trestles.
You'll be at Trestles? What does that mean?
It's a place.
Oh, Trestles surfing on your birthday. That's a great birthday present, I think. What do you think, Jeremiah?
Yeah, it is.
That's a good birthday
And
present.
I'll be with.
No, okay. Sophia's taken a little bit too long for this. So this is still too loose. This is more like a funnel cake dough, so we're going to have to go with
You'll be sitting at home.
2 cups of flour,
Missing.
half a cup of water.
Think of all of your favorite things.
All right, so we want to make a quick show for you today. We don't want to take too long. But if you have a food processor, you can, or a mixer, you could do this very quickly. It won't take you this long. We're just doing it because it's fun. We're showing you because it's fun. All right, so we've got more of a. No, I need more. I think we have way too much water. Are you sure that was only half a cup? All right, I'm gonna check my recipe, and I guess I'll post it for you guys because I'm totally playing with this now. We're doing the wet dry game like we've done in the past. But Sophia's now she's got a nice stiff dough going. All right, so that's gonna sit and rest. We're gonna put that towel back on top. Okay, that's good, baby. Leave the fork in there. Yep. We're gonna put this back on top, and we're just gonna let that sit. Now, obviously, we have ones over here ready. They're brewing and stewing, and we'll show you that later. But we're gonna get to the funnel cake batter. So the funnel cake batter is going to be a little bit of a recreation. So what we're going to do is we're going to do half a cup of flour.
Why don't you just make
Sophia, can you move that out of the way? Put that back over here. And then we're going to do half a cup of coffee cake mix. We have the Really Great Food Company coffee cake mix. And we're going to add that. Now, the great thing about this, it has the sugar in it, it has the baking powder, baking soda, it has all those yummy things in it, so we really don't have to do much work. If you were making a regular funnel cake batter, what you would need to do is make like a typical pancake batter with your baking powder, baking soda. Notice how we're not doing any eggs. If you can have eggs, go ahead and do it. It'll just make it, delicious for you. But we're not doing that. So we would have a little bit of vanilla extract in there already. We've got the baking powder, baking soda, flour. The reason why we do a little bit of flour and a little bit of coffee cake is because the coffee cake has a lot of baking powder, baking soda in it, and it would make like a really, like a puffy, but very greasy funnel cake, which when we tested it, what do you say?
It was great.
It was a little bit greasy, so we don't want to do that. Now for our wet substance, you can do milk, you could do water, you want to do milk, get the milk out. So what we're going to do is, we have a cup of flour in there. We're going to do about 1/4 cup of liquid. But we're going to go slow. So this has to be a really loose batter. We want it to be able to flow out of this. You see, this is like old. This is real. Look, it even matches my shirt. This is old school. So this is actually the funnel cake pourer. You put the batter in here and you pour the funnel cake out. And then you would make your ring and do it. Yes, honey, yeah. And then we're going to mix that up. So we're using almond milk. If you can't have nuts, use hemp. Or if you can have dairy, put dairy milk in there. We're going to use, you could use hemp, flax. The rage right now is the oat milk. So go ahead and do that if you want to. Just remember that they sometimes have sugar in them. So you might have a really, really super sweet funnel cake and you'd be like, what is this all about? So maybe, lessen up on the powdered sugar on the top.
It's supposed to be like a pancake batter, right?
Yeah, so keep adding, good girl. Jeremiah, could you just take this and put it to the side for now? We want to just get that out of the way. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about the actually Zeppeli dough. Can you use that as a pizza crust? My answer to you is yes. There's just a few tips that you're going to have to take in order to do it. We have a pizza screen here. We would cover this pizza screen with parchment paper and oil it. Then we would kind of pour that batter out onto the parchment paper and top it with whatever your toppings are that you like, or bake the crust first at 425 for about 20 to 25 minutes. That's how I would make that pizza crust. So you can do double duty with the Zeppelis. If you make some Zeppelis and you're like, I'm sick of them, or I ate too many, or oh, you know, I got powdered sugar all over my shirt and I had enough. Now you want dinner, you can make a pizza crust out of that. And you can put this pizza screen with the parchment paper and the pizza right onto your grill, or you can put it into the oven at 425, okay? So either way, that would double for you. Also, the funnel cake batter would also double for a pancake. So if you have funnel cake batter and you're like, I just don't want to fry anything, it's not fry-yay, I'm moving on, you want Sunday pancakes, you can use that for your pancake batter, okay? So we want you to be happy with your recipe. Sophia made us a nice, look at this, we have a nice loose batter, right? Maybe a little bit looser, but I'm going to add some cinnamon to that because I really like that cinnamon flavor. Would you grab the cinnamon, please? So we've got it, we want it to be like nice and runny, right? So we want to be able to do that funnel cake. You know, you draw that circle and you make a star, and you want to be able to do that. So we've got that ready. Good girl. Cinnamon, right? So we have our oil at 375, and I just want to show you these two. These are typical funnel cake rings. Now, you would have to go buy one. We had ours made thanks to Gluten-Free Dad. He's amazing. He can do all of these things. So we have a large and a small. Can you see the difference? This is like Sophia's face. This is mine. This is a little small face, and this is the big one. And you really need a shallow oil to do this, because what's going to happen is you're going to put the ring down on the bottom of the pot of oil or oil fryer. And then you're going to decorate, you know, you're going to do your circle, your star, and you're going to fill it with your funnel cake batter. And then you're going to kind of shake it a little bit and then release it. Hopefully that crust is formed on the outside. You want to do that part first. You always go around the ring first. And then you do the inside. You kind of do like a star back and forth, or zigzags. And then you release that and the ring kind of stays set. And then as that funnel cake cooks, you're going to flip it over. So we're actually, if you don't have this, Sophie had a great suggestion to use what?
Oh, like the cake thing that the bottom comes off, you can use that.
So the cake ring you have, and then you would need like a long pair of tongs to pull the ring out and have it to be able to set on something. So it's a little bit maybe more dangerous, but if you don't have this, then that's how you can do it. Or you could just do it in a very shallow pan with oil, and make sure you do that ring first, and then go into the inner, and then hopefully it would stay into that circle shape.
Like this one?
Yeah, so you do the circle first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a small one, and I'm going to set it. Now I know right now you guys can't see. Jeremiah's going to edit us later. We have an overhead going, and hopefully we'll get to you a nice design of the funnel cake so you can see it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask Sophia or Jeremiah to get the funnel cake batter for me in the refrigerator. We're going to make one funnel cake, and then we're going to flip-flop over to the Zeppelis because we don't want you to miss anything. We want you to see it all.
Can I put cinnamon in this?
Sure. And I'm actually going to have my funnel cake ice cream. Yes, it'll get a crust on it. Just incorporate that crust. So if you don't put a plastic on top, it'll get like a pudding and it'll get crusty on the side. But that's okay. You just mix it in easy.
It was a cute little heart.
Easy. Alright, so we've got our funnel cake batter, right? We're going to call this a batter. And we have our Zeppeli dough. We're going to use that as the dough because things with yeast in it, we usually refer to them as a dough. So we're going to refer to the yeasted dough for the Zeppelis, the pancake, the funnel cake batter as funnel cake batter. Alright, so I'm going to use this one that Sophia gave me, and I'm going to use the spoon to drizzle, and I'm just going to go in and around. Around the outside first. I need 2 hands for that, Sophia. Jeremiah's got it all on video, but I don't need it. Sophie, could you hold this up for me?
What one?
Or just give me that. You have to have 2 hands because you have to hold the... Hold on a second. You have to hold... Let go for a second. Let go for a second. I don't want it in there. You have to be able to hold the ring up a little bit. Alright, so I'm going to hold the ring up a little bit. This is really thick. Alright. No, I want you to just then hold this up for me. Hold it up like over the fryer. Yeah, that's good. Alright, I'm going to go in. I'm going to try my best to make one for you so you can see it. Thank you, Sophia, for helping, honey. So you want to just kind of layer those nice little crunchy things. You want to just keep going around and around. You use probably about 1/4 cup of this of that actual mixture for the funnel cake. And then I'm going to release it from the ring. I know you can't see it right now, but I'll try to show you later. Release it from the ring as soon as it kind of sets a little bit. I've got a little sticky situation here. What's happening? So look, I've got the ring. Let me see if I can show you. Watch out, baby. I've got the ring with the funnel cake batter in it, and I'm just going to kind of slip it out and let it fry. I'm going to have to piece that. No, you can't do this. Now this one I might have to piece together, and that's okay. I had to do that this morning, but my second one was perfect. Let's see this. So this one got really thick in the refrigerator. It's really, really nice. Yeah, we'll add that. It's actually really nice. I'm going to try to, wait, let me try to use this one. I like this one. It just needed a minute to loosen up. So if you could just hold the ring right here for me. Don't move, okay? Just hold the ring. I'm going to let her hold the ring. I normally wouldn't let her do anything with the fryer, but it's got to be a little bit out of the fryer. There we go. Now I'm just going around like I told you, and I'm kind of crisscrossing, letting it all drizzle in like a nice little batter. You could do a funnel cake pancake if you wanted to, thank you, honey. And you could try that. So I'm just going to let this set for a second, and then I'm going to release it from the ring. There we go. Now it's just floating in there. It's doing a nice thing. It's floating. We're going to take out our first one. We've got a little bit of a mess there. Let me take this out. Ooh, Jeremiah, can you come up and grab this, please? Come over here and grab this stuff for me, please. Take this away. Thank you. So I like when it's really thin, but I also like those big bubbles. So I'm torn between two. No, I don't want to do anything else with it right now. Just take it away. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this away for now. Look at this. Oh my gosh. I like those little crispy pieces. They're so yummy. This is really, really difficult, but when you need a little bit more batter, oh, it's super hot. Let me check on this one. This one's a little bit better. Thank you, Sophia, for helping with that one. And if you really want a lot, you want to fill it up. You know, you want to keep going and keep going. So I'll try to do another one for you, but I'm going to move on to the Zeppelis because I don't know what time did we start. I don't want to keep you too long. And I want you guys to have a great Friday and a great Friday. So I want to try to get you guys out of here. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this one. Thank you, Jeremiah, for grabbing that stuff for me.
That's good.
All right, so we're going to take our second one, which is looking a little bit better.
Looks like a nest.
It looks like a nest, right? And I'm going to try to get Jeremiah to get a nice picture of that for you. I do have, as soon as it cools off a little bit, I'm going to put it on. Did they take a picture already? Can we eat it? Can you put the milk away, please? We don't need that out. And the cinnamon. So we've got our nice little funnel cake here. It's really hot. I'm not going to touch it yet because I have burnt myself like a bazillion times between yesterday and today. I don't want to touch it. But I want to move on for you to our yeasted dough. This is our Zeppeli dough. Now remember, we have one sitting in the bowl covered with the towel. You can let that sit really as long until you come into that you're going to want to make it.
Need any powdered sugar on top of it?
No, okay. So we have one from earlier yesterday that it goes back down, and then you're going to kind of want to feed it again and let it sit and go back up. And then we have this one from this morning that went all the way up. It was here. Jeremiah, maybe you could show them it was here, and now it's all the way to the top. Can you show them now a little closer? And this is our yeasted dough for the Zeppelis. So show them that, and then you can open it up. And then, I just want to show you this. This is really exciting because, you know, a lot of times you'll make something, you'll be like so frustrated, like I can't do anymore. This is from, thank you, Jeremiah. This is from 2 weeks ago. So this is the Zeppeli dough that we made 2 weeks ago. We just put it in the refrigerator. We leave it, and then when we're ready, we're just going to take our We're going to stir it up a little bit. And then I'm going to just put some droppers into the fryer and let it go. This is like my favorite thing. I just want Zeppelis. Gluten-free Grandma, you like Zeppelis? I don't
Yes,
have
I
the
do.
basket down. So we have, I think I want to have like a Zeppeli party or like a boardwalk party and have whoever's going to let me use their fryer, raise your hand right now. Anybody out there have like a serious home fryer? Or a restaurant, we can empty your fryer out for the day? So this is where we make our donuts and our Zeppelis. And they're very different batters, different doughs, and the Zeppeli has the yeast in it and the donut doesn't. Although we have made yeasted donuts. This is very similar to a donut, except for sometimes you put like a lot of sugar in there, or you use the cake flour for a donut, and this is just regular flour, regular gluten-free flour. So Sophia's working on that. Sophia, let them go. I don't want you close, and I don't want you to put your face in there because if it pops. So you want to be careful because if it pops, you don't want to be near it. Gluten-free Grandma, what are you going to say?
Do you remember Grandma used to put anchovies in hers?
Yes, I love it. And I actually thought of doing scungio in there because we had like conch fritters. Remember the conch fritters were delicious?
Different, yeah.
Yeah, but anchovies would be yummy. But not with the sugar.
No.
No, not with the sugar. Alright, so if you guys are joining us today, thank you so much. It's Boardwalk Bites. And I really probably should have put Boardwalk Best because this is like the best of the Boardwalk. If you're going to the Boardwalk, you smell that funnel cake, you love the Zeppelis, but if you're gluten-free or you have allergies, obviously it's a little bit of a challenge. So make your own, bring it with you, and then you'll be all set. Or, you know, have it when you come home. So I'm going to just check on these. I don't want them to pop. Sophia's did a good job of, you want to make sure they're floating and they're turning and they're just doing what they're supposed to do. Sophia. Jeremiah, can I have the top for the fryer, please? It's popping a little bit. So the popping is the water, and a lot of people use like a pat de choux dough for funnel cake or Zeppelis. I disagree with this. I don't care what the Food Network says. This is the original, this is the way that we do it, and this is the Boardwalk Classic. So if you don't like it, I'm sorry, but we love it. And you know, being that this is one of the things that I used to share with my dad, just like it's a throwback show, so it's a little bit of emotional, but this was just an amazing thing. My dad would actually, on my break, he would let me go get a funnel cake, and we'd go down to Cuppers, and we'd get funnel cake. And, you know, the more powdered sugar there was on top of it, the better. But the minute you take a bite...
Okay, a little too close there, hand. Okay.
It could bring you back all the way 30 years, right, Mom?
Yeah.
You like
Hi,
one
Miss
bite?
Sarity and Lily.
In case you guys don't want a picture.
I'll
And
make
that was
more.
the picture one.
I'll try to have a bite. I can just... I'm probably covered in powdered sugar. I'm glad I'm not crying because I did not think I was going to make it through today, but this brings back a lot of memories. Right, Mom?
A lot of good ones.
A lot of good ones. If you guys see the picture up that we posted today, see if you can name the people from left to right. That would be
Go
funny.
like this. Go like this. Go like
No.
this. Go like that. Go like that.
No. Alright, watch out, P. I'm going to grab these out. So with the Zeppelis, you need to let them sit for a little bit because they do cook internally a little bit longer. Jeremiah's going to actually not touch these for a few minutes because... And we've got a little bit of funnel cake stuff in there. A little french fries. Typical Boardwalk. A little bit of everything coming out of the fryer, right? Maybe even some clam strips in there, who knows?
Don't mess around with that.
I'm going to make clam strips for you, buddy, I promise.
It's like 8 years.
I promise.
8
Alright,
years.
so the Zeppelis are out. Now as you can see, they start to split, right? They start to pop. That's a little bit of that water in there and possibly some flour pockets. Yeah, we're going to make the drink. Relax. So, if you have any questions about the Zeppelis dough, or you have any questions about the funnel cake batter, please just comment on the bottom, and we'll hope we can help you. Since we're throwing it back all the way, we've got our banana clips, we've got our old t-shirts. We're going to be making a drink that was very well known on Laverne and Shirley. This is Laverne DeFazio's, I think that was her name, Laverne DeFazio. Laverne and Shirley?
Yeah.
Just a minute. You don't remember that show?
I don't remember her last name.
Oh, it was DeFazio or DeFazio or something like that. I remember that. And she used to drink a very popular soda with milk. So I could tell you, if anybody knows the name, put it up there, and maybe I'll send you a little prize pack. But if you remember the name, it's still around today. I don't know if people drink this particular drink because of the combination, but we're going to be making it our own way. We're going to be using Excess Energy Classic, and Sophia, go grab the root beer out of the fridge. And we're going to be using root beer. So it was kind of like a melted float. Like, Mommy, gluten-free grandma, you used to like a Coke float, remember? You used to get vanilla ice cream with Coke over it.
Right.
And
Because I
and
didn't
they
like
used to
root
put
beer.
seltzer.
Yeah.
Because she didn't like root beer. So we're going to make our own version. We're going to be using Excess Energy root beer. We're going to be using Excess Energy Mixer Classic because we want to make it two ways for you. I like the root beer. Somebody else might like the Coke. And then we have the seltzer. The seltzer will go with the Excess Blast Mixer because it is not carbonated. But since this is carbonated, we don't need that. And just make a little bit for everybody, honey. That's way too much. Split that in half.
If
No, we
Ariana's
just don't need all
watching,
that.
hello.
No, this is just too much. We don't need all this. Nobody's going to drink all that. So just make a little bit, please. Thank you. And then if you like ice in it, you can add some ice. You're going to be doing about 2 ounces of each item, except for the classic. You'll do a 1 ounce shot because that's equal to like a glass of soda. Are you doing root beer too?
Yeah.
Who's doing classic? Jeremiah, you or me?
Me.
All right, so this is mine. Do mine root beer. And you do yours classic. Jeremiah's going to do the classic excess glass with the
Can I have this
seltzer.
one since it has less than that one?
Sure.
It's
And-
not really.
And I really don't know if you guys have ever had this before, but it was called, anybody know? Did someone post it on the bottom? I don't know. Somebody may have. I'm going to give you a couple minutes to think of it. But I'm sure some of you old-timers will know what it is. Laverne and Shirley. Laverne used to drink it. And I'm just mixing up the milk and the soda. I'm going to take a sip. That is delicious. That is delicious. You know, you guys like egg creams? Does anybody out there like an egg cream? I know gluten-free grandma Cassie, that was her favorite drink, right?
Egg cream.
With that You-Bet syrup, chocolate syrup. We've made those before on the show, and I was thinking about making them today, but I wanted to make this Laverne and Shirley because I thought, like, when we were younger, we used to think the Fonzie was like the coolest person, right? Do you guys know who Fonzie is?
Yeah.
Well, I thought my dad was the coolest person. I thought my dad was cooler than Fonzie. So I felt like this drink just reminded me of him. It was like, we never had it at the Boardwalk, we never made it, but it was just something that we used to drink with RC Cola, right? We used to use RC Cola. But if you guys can think of the name of the drink that she used to drink, I'm going to send you a little prize pack. Do you guys like it?
He likes this one better because he put too much excess.
You put too
We'll
much
share.
plastic in there.
I'll
Take this
share with
away.
you.
Take this stuff away, please. Put that stuff away.
I'm sharing.
All right, so to finish off with our Zeppelis, there's one more thing left to do, and we hope you guys know what it is. We hope you're enjoying the show today as we do the throwback to the Boardwalk Bites. Sophia, go grab over there what we need to finish off our Zeppelis. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We've got 8 Zeppelis. We're going to make a bunch more, but you got to have this. What is this, everybody? You know what this is? Some of you people may not even know what this is. You've probably never seen it before. We used to take our lunch to school in this thing, paper bag. So we're going to just toss the Zeppelis in here.
I did.
You used to get 6 or 12, so I'm going to put 6 in here. I'm going to be accurate. And then we used to have a huge thing of powdered sugar. Remember the big thing of powdered sugar? We just shake it off. And then Sophia's job is to shake it up, baby. Shake it up. So we're going to, alright, woo, she's shaking it. Oh, sweet Zeppelis. So those guys can taste the Zeppelis.
Like,
Squish them
sugar.
down to
That's
dust.
all in it. Oh
They're
my
all
gosh,
gone.
get out of here.
Where'd the powdered sugar go?
It all got absorbed. She absorbed all the powdered sugar because she shook them up. All right, let's just wait. All right, that's it for today. That's all we have for you guys. We hope you enjoyed the Zeppeli dough and the funnel cake batter. If you have any questions, just post them on the bottom. And of course, we have our Laverne and Shirley drink, which is really super delicious. I'm gonna have to make this more often. Jeremiah, you didn't get to try anything, did you? Did you taste the funnel cake? Was it delicious? Gluten-free grandma, did you have funnel cake?
I did. It was delicious.
Did you like it? Nice and crispy. You got those little puffs. You got a little crispiness, and then you got all that sugar on top. Holy moly! Sophia, what did you like today? Funnel cake or Zeppeli's?
I only have funnel cakes.
Well, you have the Zeppeli's before, so we're gonna make some more Zeppeli's. We'll try to post some closer pictures for you. But thank you guys for joining us today. I'm just so glad to be here with you. Oh, that's nice. I'm so glad that you guys are enjoying our throwback series on Boardwalk Best. You know, I had a great, amazing, amazing life on the boardwalk. I love Seaside Heights. I don't know if you guys do too, but growing up at the Beachcomber was just amazing. And being with my family and all of you guys out there that were our friends that worked with us, that just were such a blessing to us, and we had such a great time together. So thank you guys for tuning in today. Thank you, Sophia, for your help. Thank you for helping Mommy not to cry. Thank you, Jeremiah, for your help saying thank you to Gluten-Free Grandma. We got to feed her real quick, so we're going to get out of here. Have a great day, guys. God bless you.
Ciao.
Aprons by REM Designs. Thank you to our pantry partners and fridge friends. Hair by Satiny, makeup by Artistry. Follow us on livestream, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, and YouTube at ABC Gluten Free. ABC Gluten Free is a production of American Bots.
Have a delicious weekend, everybody. Ciao.
Ciao.
I love that yeasty smell.